Hey everyone, it's Lulasai. I am here with a review for the original Friday the 13th. This is a 1980 movie directed by Sean S. Cunningham, and I've got two versions of it here in my collection. I've got the Steelbook Blu-ray, which is pretty cool, if you ask me. And I've also got the 8-movie collection with the blood red case. Now you may ask, what's the difference between these two? This one is the uncut version, or at least it says that on the disc, and this one does not say it on the disc, but I think it's actually also the uncut version. So, weirdly, the history behind that, I did look it up for this review, because I didn't know about that. So the uncut version, if you're wondering what the difference is, there is 10 seconds of additional footage, which is some basically more gory, drawn-out scenes, because this film was trying to avoid an X rating back in the day. Now, truth be told, I think if the uncut version of this released today, I don't think it even would get an X rating, because I mean there's way more severe stuff than this that I've seen, like Smile 2 and The Substance I've seen, which are not like they're not X rated. So, and I think those are more intense than this one and more gory. But yeah, so that's the history behind that. But I believe they're both the uncut version, even though this one doesn't say it on the disc. I did watch this one out of curiosity though, because I've always watched the uncut version. So this time I attempted to watch the original theatrical release, but I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. At least I didn't notice any difference. It still seemed pretty brutal to me, or gory to me. So I'm just gonna hold this one though, because I like the art more, just for the sake of talking about this review. So this is the perfect movie to be objective about, and I feel like many people, myself included probably as well, we use the word objective wrong sometimes. So I think we falsely use the word objective as like trying to say something is, this is the way it is and there is no other way of looking at it, right? That's pretty uncommon unless you go to like some, I don't know, basic human concepts. That's not the point of this video, so I'm not going to bring a bunch of examples, but the point is, in my opinion, being objective, an easier way of using the word is just simply putting aside your personal feelings. I don't know what the exact definition of it is. I don't care right now. I'm just telling you that for me, being objective right now I'm not saying my opinions are the only opinions you can possibly have about Friday the 13th. I'm saying that I'm a super fan of this series, but just because I'm a super fan doesn't mean I'm not going to criticize it. I've got my backpack here to show you. This is my backpack I use literally every day. I am absolutely like obsessed with Friday the 13th as a series, just because, or 13th. I'm actually reviewing this on the 13th, by the way, which is purely coincidence. And there's actually another crazy coincidence I'll tell you about in a second. But yeah, just know that I hope you can respect me more as a reviewer, just because I am putting aside my personal feelings about the series and how much I like it and how much of a comfort watch it is for me, despite being a gory slasher. And we're just going to rip into it, because this movie does deserve to be ripped into still. And even the best of the series, because I haven't seen every single one. I know I just said I was a super fan, but there's so many of these movies that I have missed. Jason X, and I've missed... Is that the only one, actually? Maybe I've only missed Jason X. I feel like there's one more other than that, but I've seen most of them. So yeah, pretty scatterbrained start to this review here, but that's okay. We can just keep rolling with it. So the plot is that we follow some camp counselors who are trying to revitalize and start up Camp Crystal Lake, which was famously shut down because of an incident in 1958 where a double murder occurred. But the counselors, despite the warnings, there's this like mysterious doomsayer character who's honestly one of the most bizarre parts of this, because he somehow has all this knowledge that he probably shouldn't have about foreseeing that something bad's about to happen, or maybe he's just, maybe he's just crazy and got lucky. Whatever you want to explain it is fine. But despite all the rumors and stuff, the counselors do just ignore it and dismiss it as like simply a ghost story or an urban legend, and they carry on. But unknown to them, they are being stalked by a hidden killer who is basically never visible in this movie until the very end, where the big reveal happens. And I will not be spoiling it, because it's not really worth spoiling. I mean, I like it, it's a good reveal, don't get me wrong, but like it's not it's not so much of a talking point that I just have to go off on it, right? It's just I can play around it spoiler wise, so there won't be spoilers in this. Actually, no, that's not true. There will be one spoiler about a certain character who barely appears in the movie, maybe like less than 30 seconds total of screen time. I will talk about that character, but yeah, I mean, if you're watching this movie or if you're watching this review right now in modern times, you're probably already aware of that character's existence. Okay, so Friday the 13th. Let's start with the positives, okay? So, despite being a Halloween ripoff, or if you want to say, see, I would consider this derivative, but if you want to consider it just inspired by, fair enough. But yeah, despite that, I actually don't think it's like too much of a copy. Like, it does stand out on its own, and that's why I like it. Some days I actually prefer Friday the 13th to Halloween as an overall series. I think the first Halloween movie is completely out of this one's league, but as an overall series comparing them, sometimes I prefer Friday the 13th. So yeah. But yeah, I was talking about positives. So I think the movie, despite its basically the fact that it's copied a movie that came out 2 years prior in real life, I think it does stand out on its own remarkably. The best parts about it are pretty simple. It is the atmosphere. So the rain and lightning. This is the other thing I wanted to say. So coincidentally, I happen to be watching this on the 13th. It is actually Thursday the 13th, so it's not that cool or special. But so I'm watching this on Thursday the 13th, and I don't know why. I can't explain it. It's currently the summertime. I'm literally sweating right now. You can see the sweat on my forehead. Despite it being the summertime currently, and I have not seen, I have seen rain somewhat recently, but I have not seen lightning in quite a while. So probably since before the summer. So for some reason, when the movie started to rain and, have lightning, it happened in real life as well. And it happened basically at the exact same time. I mean, it wasn't exactly one for one, but it was pretty close. So that's pretty crazy. I'm watching this on the 13th, and as soon as the movie started raining and even lightning, then real life started to go rain. If it was just rain, it wouldn't be that crazy, but the lightning really surprised me because I saw a flash of white at the top of that window up there, and I was like, wait, am I like seeing things or something? Like, what's going on? And then I go outside and I'm like, wow, it's just raining now. So that was pretty wild. Anyways, though, that's not the positive. That's just like a story I want to tell you that was pretty convenient, like a hyper coincidence. That was interesting. Okay, so the atmosphere though, the onslaught of rain and lightning and thunder is just awesome. If you didn't know the difference, I also looked this up because I was curious. I didn't necessarily know. See, a lot of people, should I say this? I'll just say it. This is not going to sound very humble, but I'll say it anyway. A lot of people look at me and their first impression of me is that I'm like some super genius or something. I'm not. I have a lot to learn in the world. I do not think I'm smarter than anyone else. That is a false assumption a lot of people make about me. So yes, I have to look up stuff like the lightning and thunder thing too. So I didn't know this actually. So lightning is the actual electricity, and thunder is just the sound that's being created. So just fun fact for you. Yeah, but the atmosphere, I mean, the music, the theme song, the iconic theme song, primarily, I really, really like the soundtrack. The just like very simplistic, awesome. Reminds me of like John Carpenter's The Thing, which also has a very simplistic but awesome soundtrack. The plot twist is very effective. If you have no knowledge of Friday the 13th and you watch this in modern times today for the first time, you will be surprised. You will have your expectations defied. It is, yes, it's a fairly standard movie, I guess, otherwise, but the story does take a turn, and it's a very interesting turn. I think it's well done, and yeah, it offers some narrative value in an otherwise movie that would not have any normally. And many of the sequels basically won't as well. But yeah, so I also really like the kills. They're very brutal. The special effects and makeup are awesome, and unfortunately it gets so real that they actually kill a real-life snake for the sake of filming this, which I do not like. I'm not a fan of that. I just thought of that because I was talking about realism. That's going too far, but other than that, I think that everything's being executed very practically. I mean, even the snake is practical, but they shouldn't be doing that. So yeah, not including the snake, I like the practical effects and everything going on here. The kill scenes are really good. And the awesome, just like revelation, basically. There's a revelation scene where one character walks around and just bodies just start popping up out of nowhere, almost kind of hysterically, but in a way, I'm not like laughing at it. It is still pretty shocking. So I really like that scene as well. And I love the ending of this movie. I'm about to criticize a little bit of the ending as well, but overall I'm a fan of the ending and I wouldn't want to change it too much. I'm a fan of the core of it. And I really, really like the very last jump scare. It is obviously like one of the coolest scenes in horror movie history, that scene alone. Okay, now for the negatives. Number one, it's derivative, right? It is doing what it's trying to get the same money that Halloween got. So we're gonna acknowledge that. Do I personally care that much? No. I'm glad they both exist and it stands on its toes just perfectly fine. It stands out. But yeah, I will acknowledge that it is derivative. Number two, the characters are generic. They are disposable. The final girl is not developed at all. And you will not feel bad for any of them really because they're not exactly annoying. I guess they are a little bit sometimes, but they're just so one-dimensional. Like these are just like, they're basically just horny camp counselors who never stop thinking about sex, and that's it. That is like every single one of these characters. I just described them perfectly. Just with that one sentence. That's every single of these counselor characters. And they're just so one-dimensional and uninteresting. The final girl is just not impactful at all. You don't even really know she's the final girl until it's too late. And then you're like, oh wait, this is supposed to be the main character I'm rooting for the most of everyone? Oh, well the movie's about to end. It's too late. So don't care about the final girl. Don't care about the regular characters, I guess we can call them, because I do like the villain character, obviously. But I guess they serve their purpose, but I'm just saying they're not remarkable at all. I mean, Laurie Strode wasn't even a super remarkable character in the original Halloween, to be honest. But she looks like a masterclass character compared to whatever this final girl's name. I don't even remember her name. I mean, the first character's name is Annie, and the last one I don't even know. That's how like forgettable she is. It's pretty funny. So yeah. I know Kevin Bacon's there, right? Kevin Bacon's here, but their names are not worth learning because they're just not like real characters. They're not fleshed out. And is that basically it? Oh yeah, so the other thing is, well, I'm sure there's more, but the other like major thing for me is the snake. Don't do that to snakes. That's not cool. No, that's not what I was thinking though, but that is still true. You should not do that to snakes. Okay, so the ending of this movie. I'm not talking about the very, very ending, very last scene. Before that, before it's daytime at the end there with the lake scene, which is just awesome. You have the reveal of the killer and then they face off against the final girl. So for an otherwise shorter than average movie, which is something I appreciate about this like final battle scene is very unnecessarily drawn out. And it becomes a bit comical eventually. Basically, the final girl refuses to, knock out or deal with the villain correctly. So they just keep running around, and it just kind of becomes funny at a certain point. I still like the scene. I'm glad it's there. I just think it's a little ridiculous how drawn out it is when really the final girl had multiple opportunities to just like, let's say, if you want to defend her and just say, okay, the final girl's not a killer, she doesn't have it in her. Fair enough, okay, but you should, still a life or death situation, you should be able to make the villain unconscious, and you have multiple opportunities to do so. But that's a recurring theme with this movie, is that the characters are very unintelligent, they're never doing the correct thing at any time, and that's just kind of part of the charm of it, to be honest, but I do criticize that in a lot of other movies, so. I'm going to give the original Friday the 13th. I hate that I have to call it the original. That like 2009 remake they did, horrible. Like one of the worst horror movies I've ever seen. But the original 1981, is it flawed? Absolutely. Is it derivative? Yes. Do I still like it though? Yes, I'm a big fan of it. I do like the series a lot, and sometimes I even prefer this to some of the other series. Like I would say I prefer, like that's the thing, Friday the 13th, each individual movie may not stack up to some of the other big names and big franchises, but if you look at it overall as a series, it's it's consistently delivering on what it needs to. So I almost prefer Friday the 13th as a series, especially when rewatching it repeatedly, let's say many times over the years. I almost prefer it to Halloween. I almost prefer it to A Nightmare on Elm Street. I might prefer it to Texas Chainsaw Massacre just because the sequels do eventually get pretty awful. So at least it's like, it's consistently mid. Okay, it's consistently mid, which is actually a good thing because it's mid for all the right reasons. It's just fun. It's just fun. It's not like a boring mid movie. I'm probably just describing this wrong, but you get what I'm trying to say, right? Like, you have other series that start off amazing and then just end up in the complete dumpster. Friday the 13th, it was never that amazing to begin with. It was just always kind of in the middle, and you just take it or leave it, and that's what I appreciate about it. So I'm going to give original Friday the 13th a 7 out of 10. I think it's a pretty generous score, but I think it earns it. It's iconic, and I absolutely love many, many things about it. And it's a comfort movie for me to rewatch. It's just so easy to rewatch. It's so chill. Yes, it's a slasher horror, but it is so chill. Just the environment, the setting, the atmosphere, it's just very chill. Very easy to watch. So, big fan of this. Thank you for watching. Again, reminder, I watched this version, but I suspect they're the same version. So thank you for watching this review, and I will see you next time.